Welcome back to whatever the hell the name of this show is. Amazing But True is really
Don't
summing up
disrespect the show. We did nothing wrong. We
Amazing
did
But
nothing wrong.
True. The story of the Mets. Jake Brown, Nelson Figueroa here, Andrew Hart and Nick Guzman with us on a Monday, June 26th of whatever the hell this year is. A year that ends in a number that ends with the Mets sucking. I mean, Figgy.
That's very Frank the Tank, by the way.
How many more times am I going to yell about this stupid franchise? Different owner, different GM, manager, 101 wins. It was all a farce. This team stinks. On Sunday, a 6-3 lead going to eighth inning. Everything was going too smoothly for us to be happy. You knew there was darkness coming, like Howie Rose's decapitated bobblehead. You knew that something was going to go awry. And Buck, stupid Showalter, decided, let's win tomorrow and not today. Let's win for Wakanda Forever Starling Marte bobblehead day on Monday, where tickets are going for less than a 20-piece chicken nugget. He said, I'm not going to use David Robertson up 3 runs. I'm going to put Josh Walker in. Josh Walker loads the bases. Okay, here it is. Bases loaded, nobody out. Biggie, I'm not going to use David Robertson. Oh, okay.
No, why would you?
Why would you use your only reliable reliever? He's the only guy you can trust. That's right. I'm in a cursing mode because my blood pressure when that game ended, I was ready to jump off the roof.
Darren Ruff?
Have to put Darren Ruff, put him in the game. Jeff Brigham hits him. He hits him. You would thought Chris Brown was on the mound. I mean, my goodness. He sucks it up. Brett Beatty, who I'm not even going to get mad at for the error, because at least he took accountability after the game. God forbid your manager does that. He puts in Brigham, hit batter, a walk, this and that. I don't even know. And then Chicken Parm Vinny Natoli, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, comes in and gets the job done. Figgy, Buck Showalter has been known for this. Everyone's tweeting it out about Zach Britton, how this happened with the Orioles, and he would save Britton for the next day. And he said after the game, we'll play his audio in a bit. He said, I wanted him for the ninth of the save situation. Well, you can't get to a save situation if there's nothing to save except for our dignity. And the Mets lose 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. They are 7 games under 500. They are 86 games out of first place. They're 8.5 out of a wild card spot. And this season is more toast than a trip to the Waffle House at 2 a.m. in Myrtle Beach. Toast. That's the only thing I could cook in high school was toast. And that's what the Mets are. And you know what? I've defended Buck long enough. This is the first time. It's the first show. I will say this, and then I'll hand it off to you, Mr. Figueroa. It's time to fire Buck Showalter.
Wow. Huh. Fire him. Okay. I get it. I'm understanding more and more what makes you tick and what ticks you off. However, and of which, so it's a dual-edged sword, right? You have to learn to trust other people. I get it. This is a win now mode where they have to win this game. It's a game you're leading by 3 runs going into the 8th. It's not working out for the young left-hander Walker. He's all over the place. Bases are loaded. Get him out of there immediately. And I get that the situation wasn't perfect, but remember what happens with closers. You're either using them for save situations or as stoppers in the biggest moment of the game. There was no bigger moment than bases loaded, nobody out. No bigger moment. So you bring in your stopper, Jeff Brigham. Oh, that's right. Remember what I said about Jeff Brigham Do you remember what I said about Jeff Brigham? Probably about a month ago. Man, he's doing great, but he hasn't been in any kind of pressure situation. No high leverage situations, nothing where he's had to hold the lead. And every time he tries to hold the lead, what do you get? Today was an absolute fiasco because the Phillies rally to win the game, walk, single, walk, grounder that should have been a double play, recorded no outs, of course, because it wasn't even good enough to get a force out.
And Buck challenged it because he thought he might have had a chance to win.
Oh, it's the first time he's challenged something. And meanwhile, there's been about 18 things that we said were challengeable, and he hasn't tried that. So anyway, you got no outs. Then we have walk, strikeout, hit batter, hit batter. If you had that for baseball bingo at the ball game today, congratulations. You should win a gajillion dollars because there's no way in hell you should have a game turn, the tide turned, without them actually hitting a ball other than a weak single. And all of that happened in one inning, and your closer is not involved whatsoever. Like you said, there's got to be something to save, right? You can't just sit back and wait. Fact is that he threw 13 pitches and went 1 2/3. Well, you know what? Extreme times call extreme measures. And I think if you asked Robertson to go out there and get you 6 outs, he would have said no problem. And then if you couldn't use him for the next 2 games, then you figure that out and use Ottavino because Ottavino needed a day off after only pitching 1 day and throwing over 20 pitches. I told you this before. It's unraveling very quickly. The roster construction the bullpen was never addressed. You got Brooks Raley, you had Ottavino, and you had Robertson. Once Diaz went down, and there should be no excuse because the 9th inning has been locked down pretty much for Robertson. So I will not say it would have been a different story if you had Diaz here. It wouldn't have been because you're seeing guys being used too much, too often, and now in high leverage situations that they're not accustomed to being in the game. And you take another game where the Mets offense actually does something. They actually looked coherent. They actually looked like they had a plan up there against one of the better pitchers in baseball. And I get that Zach Wheeler has lost his last four starts before this. But you know how good Zach Wheeler is. And yet every at bat was taking its toll on Zach Wheeler, and they found ways, and the door hits a home run. Here we are. Everything's going great. Reliever comes in, and Pete Alonso welcomes him with a home run. Couldn't get much better, could it? And what we saw was something that, again, preparation beforehand is knowing what you have available. I get it. Raley's out, Ottavino out. So that means your starter can't throw 78 pitches. I don't care what he's doing. If he gave up 5 runs and 78 pitches, he still has to wear another inning. We need 1 more inning out of you. Go out there and see what you can do for 1 more inning. Maybe it's the best inning he has. Maybe he gets you into the 6th. 78 pitches. Talk about all the money you want in the world. I'm sick about hearing about the money. You turn Carlos Carrasco, who was one of the American League's top 15 starters over the last decade, and you turned him into Jason Vargas. 78 pitches, no more. Can't do it. Don't want his tummy to hurt tomorrow. And it's not fair. That's not fair. The veteran guys are the ones you're supposed to rely on. The veteran guys are the ones that want to step up and try and turn this around. And you're giving these lame-ass excuses of this guy has to be rested. This guy needs a day. This guy. Look at Max Scherzer yesterday. Practically wanting to fist fight to stay 1 more inning. And was it worth it? You're damn right it was. To the whole team. Because that's how the tone is set by those veteran guys. But the fact that these veteran guys have to fight to do what they want to do to turn this thing around is disgusting. It's disgusting. There's no reason Carrasco couldn't have gone out for another inning. And if he's struggling, then you bring in the reliever. So that happened long before we saw the debacle in the 8th. It was almost, as soon as I saw that he wasn't coming out for the 5th, writing was on the wall. Writing was on the wall because what we said? If you have a bullpen that is excellent in doing what they need to do, a Tampa Bay type bullpen, lockdown, shut down, inning after inning, no problem. Throw 5 guys a night. I don't care. You don't have that. You have minor leaguers, unprovens, and guys who are getting an opportunity to make a name for themselves. And the guys that do have a name, you're coddling them. where they want to just keep pitching. They want to help this team win. I get you're trying to play it out for the long run. There is no long run. There is no long run. So if you're not going to play it out for trying to make the playoffs, then start selling pieces away. Start getting things back. Because right now they have zero value around baseball. What are you going to get for all the land of misfit toys right here? And it's not what anybody signed up for. Somebody's going to have to pay for this.
The Mets are so bad. Nelson Figueroa is losing his mind, folks. Even Figgy's lost it.
I'm saying,
oh, you're insane like me.
No. I'm saying, listen, I'm lucid. I'm getting this. I understand perfectly. I see the writing on the wall, and it's a scary thing because go look at Billy Eppler's record in Anaheim. Go look at how much money was spent while Billy Eppler was the GM in Anaheim. Go look at their records. Go find me pitchers that were developed under Billy Eppler. Find me anybody. Find me one.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos Carrasco in that spot, you can argue third time through the order he's not that good. But like you said, when two of your three best relievers are unavailable, he's got to give you 5 innings. Like 2 runs. And then the team has got coddled so much that after the game, he's talking about, I thought I was good out there. No, 4 innings not good. Giving up 2 runs is fine, but going 4 innings is not good when you're throwing the ball to minor leaguers.
It's 4 innings. That's what they let him pitch. They didn't give him a chance to keep going. So he was good while he was out there. 2 innings. If he goes 6 innings and 2, it's a 3 ERA. I take that guy every day. But that's not what you're getting out of these guys. And when you finally have an opportunity, 78 pitches, man, and you can't let him push himself to that. I don't care. There's no way you're crunching numbers so fast that you're sitting there going third time through the lineup. Now, depending on which hitters are coming up, is it third time through the lineup against these 3 hitters or against hitters that are lefty, righty, righty, lefty? There's so many ways, so many matriculations of these numbers that you can do. Your head is going to spin until next week. So instead of doing that, it's called a gut check. Last time I checked, this is how you did it. You checked for the number 2. Reach down and see if you got a pair, and then keep going.
Whoa. I didn't see that coming. And he said, Cookies, Jason Vargas, Tim Healy, better hide your face. You get punched in the face again. Cookies, too nice of a guy to do that. This team is in shambles right now. And then Buck Showalter after the game, intern Nick, let's hear what Buck had to say because this made me also explode. As many things after a game he says make me explode. This one made me explode. Listen up.
If you had a chance to redo that 8th inning, would you do anything different, or was that
like how? What else could we do? That was kind of where we were. I was hoping we were trying to, just like last night, we're trying to stretch every out we can with everybody we got. And they're capable of doing the job. They just didn't do it today.
I ripped the head off this Robo. I want to break the head. I'd make it like Headless Howie. What else can you do? You could have brought in your clothes. You save them for tomorrow. $5 tickets. Get your bobblehead and go out the door. Put in the books. Put in the books. You put Robertson in there. That's what you do. What do you mean? You didn't know what else you could do. I hate to be like Frank and call him a senile old man. You were talking about bingo. He might be at your local bingo hall next week. He might find me there because I do love bingo. I said, hey, Siri, where's the closest bingo last night when I was out? Maybe a few too many White Claws.
Dude, I'm telling you that.
To my phone and it pulled up the local bingo. But he might be there. And listen, I get it. And people are tweeting me this. They say, it's on the play. What about the players? Listen, Jeff Bringham's got to be better. Of course, Brett Beatty's got to make that play. All of that goes without saying. But what goes with saying is, 1, Buck's got to be better there. And 2, like we said week after week, Billy Eppler has been inept at his job. The depth in this bullpen, when you're going to AAA guy after AAA guy after AAA guy after AAA guy, you're not going to beat a Phillies lineup that is a whole lot better than you. And no matter how many runs you left on base, it feels like however many runs they don't score, the bullpen or the pitching staff will make up for it and give up those runs back. So it never feels like you're scoring enough runs. I feel like if they scored 12, they would have lost 13-12. That's how this season is going. That's how this month of June is going. And the season is slipping away from them so fast that firing Buck Showalter may make 0 difference. This team may continue to lose. They may continue to suck. But I'm starting to think the 101 101 win Mets last year were fake, and it was a 1-year wonder. It was like the Baja Men and Who Let the Dogs Out. It was like Gloria Gaynor and I Will Survive. It was like, I don't even know any other one hit wonder. I don't know, but I do know this: the New York Mets aren't making the playoffs. There needs to be a shakeup that wakes this team up. Maybe they could turn it around, but trading Eduardo Escobar in the middle of the game, by the way, when you could have done it 21 hours of the freaking day and you chose the middle of the game. Oh, hey, Francisco Lindor, I don't know if you heard, your best friend and the funniest guy and locker room hero just got traded. Your thoughts? How is the team going to have morale after that? If you traded Daniel Vogelback, I guarantee the Mets would have won 23-3 like the Angels did. That they would have said, oh, great teammate. He ate the buffet before. We ran out of food, but it's okay. We love him. Good luck in Los Angeles. But you traded the heart and soul of the team, which I'm fine with trading him, but not in the middle of the game. Figure.
Here's the thing, but you also
never traded in the middle of the game.
You also traded him for 2 minor league starters, right? And you need bullpen help now.
Can they give you 4 innings? Can they go 78 pitches?
And one of them, Nick, what was how many games has this kid pitched?
He's what,
4 this season.
4 this season.
Out
and he's been
April.
out for a while with an injury, but not Tommy John. So you basically bought damaged goods, and you got 2 minor league starters who are in Double-A. That's supposed to help you now. What are we trying to do here? They're
trying to open up a roster spot for Danny Mendick. Danny Mendick, our Lord and Savior. Mendick, Lord and Savior. Mendick. Happy Pride Month.
I don't know if you could put those two together, the Lord and Savior part, but anyway, that is again, while we're sitting here sending out SOSs and messages in a bottle for relievers, he goes out to get you 2 Double-A starters. And I get it. They're prospects. They're on a list somewhere. There are a lot of people I play with that are on lists. They didn't amount to bupkis. You need guys now that can get you out at the major league level, because running Brigham back out there every other day is the law of diminishing returns. You're not getting back what you invested in, and it's starting to show. And now, honestly, I thought there were 5 starters and 7 guys in the bullpen at least, right? I swear there's only been 3 guys that pitch every day.
I think I have the philosophy why the Mets got called up Danny Mendick, because they're going to trade for Dick Lovelady and then have Danny Mendick, Dick Lovelady on the same roster. I think that's what they're going to do this month. They're sellers. I mean, I don't know how you can argue that this team will trade pieces and prospects. Anyone who the stupid MLB here, 8 players for Shohei Ohtani. The Mets aren't trading for Shohei Ohtani.
No shot.
They're not trading for Babe Ruth. They're not trading for the corpse of Ted Williams. They're not trading for anyone good. They're trading for prospects who are injured and trying to restore a depleted farm system that Billy Eppler chose to create. Alicia Hernandez ain't coming up to save this team. Steven Ridings ain't coming up to save this team. Jose Quintana's 1 every 5-day start isn't saving the team. Separating Verlander and Scherzer to 2 days apart sure ain't saving the team. Buck Showalter's got to manage for today and not tomorrow. Unfortunately, all he knows is tomorrow. He must be a big fan of the song and show tunes, and so am I, but not in baseball. Tomorrow, the Mets will lose tomorrow. We're only a day away. You remember that one, Figgy?
Yeah, I loved
Annie?
Mockingbird.
Was it from Annie? I think
Yes, it's Annie.
Right? Yeah, classic show. Get it all here on Amazin But True. Amazin But True. Jake Brown, Nelson Figueroa. Follow us on Twitter at Jake Brown Radio, at Figgy NY, at Amazin But True. Nick Guzman, Andrew Hartz are with us as I am sweating my titties off here from screaming so much. Sweating my balls off. Happy Pride weekend, everybody.
Have you been drinking?
Oh, I'm dead sober. I'm drunk in Mets. I could have been at the summer club. I could have been at the club in the pool pumping my fist. Instead, I'm watching Jeff Brigham hit everyone like he's a UFC fighter. No excuse there.
Yep.
And, let's play Nick Brett Beatty. Because listen, Brett Beatty, it's inexcusable. You have to make that play. You couldn't put Eduardo Escobar in. He was traded. Maybe you want Danny Mendick as a late game replacement. Maybe Ronnie Mauricio will be here in the year 2027. Maybe he'll be here soon. You didn't call him up. You want to trade a guy and bring up prospects. No, you bring up Danny Mendick. No offense, Danny Mendick. I think I've hit the tally of how many times I say his last name.
Way more times than I thought he was going to be on our podcast today.
Nick, let's play the audio of what Brett Beatty had to say after the game.
I just couldn't get out of my glove. There's really no excuse. That play needs to be made 10 times out of 10, and that cost us a game, cost us a series, and cost us a lot of momentum that we had coming in from yesterday. So it was bad.
Buck's got to show accountability like that. He messed up. He said, I cost him the game. And that's partially true. There were a lot of other pieces involved, like your manager and poor pitching. And honestly, if we're going to go with guys who aren't that reliable, why overuse Brigham? I'd rather put Natoli in that spot even. Like, I know he doesn't have the experience, but, like, at least he's a fresh arm. The guy has 1 inning in the majors under his belt. I'd almost rather him than an overworked Jeff Brigham. I mean, either way, it's a loss, and Robertson should have been in there. And like you said earlier, I mean, Ottavino really not available because he threw too many pitches yesterday. The guy's been in the league forever. He's not available back-to-back. And you can argue, like we said last show, he's not good on the second day of back-to-back. Still, I would rather Ottavino than Brigham there.
Who knows? Maybe Ottavino throws 3 pitches, gets 3 outs. That's the risk that you take. That's what you try to give a guy, say, hey, can you give us 12 pitches?
I think he would have threw strikes. Like, I don't think he's going to hit a guy. Absolutely. And a couple got away from Brigham there. But like you said, he has not battle tested. That is a battle tested scenario. Bases full. And Josh Walker starting the inning. He just got here. He doesn't even know where Amore Pizza is yet. He's never been to the Lemon Ice King. He's never seen them play bocce in Corona. He's from New Haven. He knows that pizza. He doesn't know New York. No offense, Josh Walker. I got a couple of buddies that went to school with him and know him. Seems like he's a nice guy, and he's got a six-pack, and he's jacked. Good for him. Being jacked and a six-pack is not good for the 8th inning of a must-win game. They had this series, and you win this series, then you got Milwaukee coming in, another team ahead of you in the wild card. You got the back-to-back bobbleheads. Maybe there's some juice in the building. Now there's not even apple juice in the building. There needs jungle juice because you got to get hammered to watch this product. One of the first drinks I ever had, actually, college. Jungle juice. Tastes like Gatorade. It was a beautiful thing. First time I ever drank. First day of college. Got convinced to go to a frat party. Went. Convinced they gave me a blunt. They told me it was a cigar, but I'm convinced it was a blunt now, 13 years later. Had some jungle juice. Anyways, this is Amazin But True. Honestly, I'm previewing what the next couple of months are going to be about because we might just have to do live stories because this team is dead in the water. And every time they win a game, I didn't get excited they won yesterday because you felt like they would lose today. And this was that moment, those 3 outs, get through the 9th. Okay, win a series. This could be a positive show. Instead, I'm trying to break an unbreakable robo-knit doll that can't be broken. I'm not going to rip my shirt like Frank. You don't want to see these titties today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, listen, it's Friday was awful. Saturday,
what did you think of that, by the way, Friday? Am I right that there is something to trading a clubhouse favorite in the middle of the game, kind of bringing down team around? Like they look
it absolutely is a head scratcher because you could have waited till after or done it well before. You don't do it normally during.
In the 3rd inning?
You don't do it during because what's going to change? He's not making it to Anaheim for the game. So what's going to change by waiting? I can't understand it. Listen, I've been sent up, down, and traded and released in a multitude of ways. I'll tell you a quick one. We were in Houston the night before. I pitched 5 1/3 of 1-run relief. Won the Subway sub of the game. I was with the Brewers in Houston. The next day, I had to sit in the stands in my suit on getaway day. because they were designating me for assignment, and I was supposed to go to the minors, but they didn't get me a flight, so I was going to fly back with the team after the game, but I couldn't be in the clubhouse or on the dugout because I wasn't a member of the team anymore. So in my suit to get on the plane, I had to sit and watch the ball game when I was the subway sub of the game the night before. So yes, I have seen some weird things happen, but that's usually with some, bargain basement kind of organizations, not with a $350 million payroll, and things should be done a lot differently. There's no way that should have happened. It makes zero sense.
Were you the 6-inch or the 12-inch subway?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Danny Mendick wants to know. That's it. Oh God, this show's gonna go off the rails. Well, the Brewers come to town this week. In case you want to watch a minor league team play at Citi Field, you go out to New York Mets, play the Hebrew Hammer and Christian Yelich. The Brewers 40-37 against 35-42. Listen, we're obviously really negative here. You got to start winning now. I mean, time's up. There's no more. All right, now.
What show haven't we said that on?
I know. Well, I'm trying to have like 1% of positivity. I'm trying to be in the 1% here of positivity. And the fact is, this was a big stretch, and it started with this because you were going up a wild card team, division teams right in front of you. Phillies fail 2 out of 3. Could have had 2 out of 3. 3 out of 4 against the Brewers in front of you in the wild card. Then the Giants come to Citi Field for 3. The San Francisco Giants right now are the 3rd wild card. That's 3 games you win right there if you sweep, which the only thing the Mets are sweeping is the beer cans that are on the floor in the Delta Club after I throw them on the floor. And I won't do that. Good people in there. I won't do that. But there's literally garbage on the floor. Hot dog wrappers are the only thing that's getting swept at Citi Field, not baseball teams. If a team's getting swept there, it's the New York Metropolitan. But again, you look at the schedule. There's 3 games. Say you magically sweep. That's a 3-game pickup in the standings. Then you play the Diamondbacks, Figgy, coming up in Arizona for 3. The Diamondbacks are the division leader right now. But again, you beat up on them. Maybe they become a wild card. You gain some ground in them. After that, and this is right up to the All-Star break, the final 3 in San Diego, a trip that I was really hoping to make. But now you have to pay me to go there, even though San Diego, great city, beautiful woman, great food, just a beautiful
woman.
Woman. Danny Mendick told me that. The Padres in front of you in the standings, 2 games ahead. So this was a stretch. After that, again, Figgy, after the All-Star break, 1, 2, 3 against the Dodgers, another team in front of you. The second
everybody's in front of them. What are you doing?
I'm just saying this stretch.
There's only one team behind them, and you're sitting here trying to do the math.
I'm the screamer, not you.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just saying
is beyond.
No. I'm saying this stretch up to the wild, it's all teams in front of you. I'm not saying you're not playing the White Sox. You're not playing American League team. Obviously, everyone's in front of you. But all I'm saying is this stretch was so critical because you could have gained ground. This 2 to 3 week window, it could have.
Window.
C-I-T-I.
All right, stay focused. Let's go. Let's move on. Brewers coming to town. Things have to change. And whether they are starting to jump everybody else, start being a seller now. I don't know. There's something.
Fire Buck? Do you fire Buck Showalter on Monday?
I don't know if I can. I honestly don't know if I can. I get what he said about every bullet. We used every bullet that we had. You didn't. You kept one of your best pitchers, your best reliever, you kept loaded in the chamber and never pulled the trigger on it. So I can't agree with him on that. I get, what is he working with? What is he being given to work with? Right? So that's where the problem lies. If you don't have these pitchers available and you don't have the necessarily relievers that can get the job done, then what can you do? Doesn't matter. All the different things, you have to get creative then. And so by being creative, go outside of what the freaking index card says about 3rd time through the lineup. Cookie Carrasco, give me 110 pitches. Max Scherzer, 107 pitches the day before, because you need the length. You need these guys to go deeper into the game so that the bullpen is not being counted on the way that it has been. So they've got to get creative. And then I'm tired of blaming it on the offense. The offense is terrible. The offense is scoring runs. They've been scoring runs for a while now. And so you can win these games. These are winnable games, and you're throwing them away. It's too much, too many, and it's really the time that they have to start doing it isn't now. It's already been a few weeks back, but this is do or die. If you don't go into the All-Star break on a winning streak, and we're talking about a decent winning streak, it doesn't have to be 12 in a row like Cincinnati, but it has to be a winning streak, that something that is sustainable and something that you can build on for the second half.
I don't see any winning streaks in sight. And if you're watching this on video, I have replaced Howie's head with my head on the decapitated head. Yeah, I mean, listen, if this is the route you're going to go, the fact Ronnie Mauricio is not here, the fact Vientos isn't getting a chance is mind-blowing. It's just, how much longer are you waiting till July 31st, August 1st? Are you waiting to the last possible second? And you're worried that, like we keep saying, Mauricio's, trade bait. You don't want him to be bad in the majors. And then at this point, you cannot think about trading one of those prospects.
What if Mauricio comes up and the same thing like Ellie De La Cruz?
That's what I'm thinking. Why not?
It just goes out there and just tears it up. And you've got to find a way to keep him out of the lineup. What if? Do you want to have the rest of the season go, what if we would have done that? What if?
Buck does, because tomorrow's all he cares about.
You need to have no stone unturned at this point. And so that means you've got to cut the dead weight and you've got to start putting guys out there. And maybe it is for the best. Give these young kids a chance to play and move pieces around. Bring the veteran guys off the bench because they're experienced in doing that, but let these young kids play. Let them play. Let them figure this out. The bullpen, though, there's no young kid that's going to help them. They don't have the weapons in the bullpen. They just, it was limited from the beginning. It's limited now, and there's no help in sight. And please, oh God, please, Edwin Diaz, don't rush yourself back to come back to this.
The only good thing is I'm going to try and cut some dead weight as well. And I'm going to hit the gym tomorrow. I've said that for like the last 2 months.
Gym.
I'm going to take a video to make sure and send it to Hearts that I did go to the gym.
Accountability. It's about accountability, Jake.
Although I could get a video and then just come right back upstairs and not doing it. But I'm going to go to the gym.
You see how you've already worked that out in your head? It's beautiful.
How can I make it look like I'm at the gym but not actually do anything at the gym? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get a massage, enjoy the day. I just have a lot of knots in my back and stress and pain from this futile organization. We were hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray. Ja Rule might be doing a post-game concert in a month here.
Nice.
Well, Monday you get your Wakanda Forever Starling Marte bobblehead. Tuesday you get your Mr. Meta's Indiana Jones bobblehead in case you want that. I know Hearts is going for that. Indiana Jones fans. Happy early birthday to Hearts. His birthday is Saturday, July 1st. Your present, the Mets and Yankees suck. And I hate Yankee fans complaining. I'm like, at least you're over 500 and in the playoffs. We are incompetent.
Stop saying that, too. It's Hal Steinbrenner said the same thing the other day. If the season ended today, the season's not ending today. So stop.
If the season ended today, they're in the playoffs. Are the Mets?
They're not in the playoffs yet. There's a lot that can happen beforehand. And have you seen this offense without a little guy named Aaron Judge? So stop it, okay? Don't sit there and pout and say, "Oh,
but they can't complain. They can't.
Yankee fans can't complain. I already went on record with that one. You have nothing to complain about.
At least you're not us. You're not us. You're not us. Why not us? Oh, well, hopefully we'll have the Podfather with the Todd Father at some point on the show.
That's
Todd
coming.
Frazier. He's coming. We'll hopefully have Donovan Mitchell full interview at some point. We got to get Beltran on. Beltran might not want to talk right now. He might be in the witness protection program working for this franchise right now. And listen, fire Eppler. I get it. GMs don't get fired. Nick pulled up the recent GMs figure that got fired. Avila was fired by the Tigers last year. In the last decade, these are the guys. Dave Dombrowski in 2019 during the season. Terry Ryan in 2016. The Twins had the worst record in the AL at the time. And then not a GM, but the president, John Daniels, in last year for the Texas Rangers, who, God, do I look dumb. Texas Rangers without Jacob deGrom, one of the best teams in baseball. And I said, Jacob deGrom's going to fall into irrelevancy, and they're a playoff team, and we're in the circus. Would have thought he'd be Ringling, Barnum, and Queens, and heaven in Arlington.
Yep. Who would have thunk it? Listen, there's a lot of that in baseball. There's fourth place teams from last year are all either leading their division or and right in the wild card, first or second in the wild card. So the fourth place teams last year have all turned baseball upside down somehow. And it wasn't with money. It was by getting younger, by getting more athletic. The game has changed in a way that we thought we see it benefiting the Mets in a lot of ways, right? We saw with the no shift, thought Jeff McNeil would bat at least 600, 700 if he could bat 320, 330 with the shift. And he's been lackluster performances after lackluster performances. You have the pitch clock still, it's more and more irrelevant when you see what's happening besides the pitch clock, that you don't even worry about the pitch clock anymore. Is it bad for our, two elder statesmen of the starters? And I think that it's no longer should that even be thrown out there as an excuse. You're splitting those two guys apart because the idea was that if they're both going 7, then you're saving the bullpen, 2 straight games, and that hasn't been the case, not even close. So they haven't gotten any length or consistency out of any of their starters, and I don't know why baseball has changed in this way, that it's impossible for someone to throw 100 pitches without needing 2 weeks off or IL stint. But the new baseball has definitely made this thing fashionable, that 4 1/3 is a quality start somehow, and it's really, really not.
Forget 100 pitches, 13 pitches, 2 straight days is going to be too much for Dave Robertson. We're going to rest him. We're going to use him for the next.
But we don't use him for 5 days because there's not a safe situation. Remember that.
So that too, yeah. We pitched twice in 10 days?
10 days, twice in 10 days. So once every 5 days is good.
What a life. Imagine working once every 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, and imagine being asked to shut the door when you haven't thrown in, you've thrown only twice in 10 days and it's been probably 20-something pitches. So how sharp could you possibly be? He even got up to warm up in the 9th. Why was he warming up in the 9th?
They were teasing us. Here's what sums it up. When we said about Buck, we picked enough on Buck. Here's who came out of the Mets bullpen today. None of them on the opening day roster. Leone, Hartwig, who dominated, Walker, Brigham, Natoli. Everyone that came out of the bullpen was not on this opening day roster. That's a problem. A lot of guys, no major leaguers, guys who weren't here when this season started. That is concerning, and it needs to be fixed. It's not going to be an overnight fix, and we're probably going to have in the offseason. But it's interesting, and Casey Stern brought this up, a conversation he had with Theo Epstein when he joined me on Thursday, was that when he talked to Theo Epstein beginning of the offseason, Vicky, he was worried about pitchers 7 through 10. He was worried about those late-end guys, and that's a GM who's won a championship and broke curses in multiple different cities. Yep. Not a guy that looks like Billy Eppler. And those are the depth pieces you got to worry about early that the Mets didn't address properly. And now you're seeing minor leaguers come into the game. And, as whatever Buck does, you're still getting poor performances from guys that probably shouldn't even be here in the first place.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway from today is I get it. You heard 5 names that weren't on the opening day roster, and that's, oh, wow, the GM has brought these guys up. But these guys, if you look at what they were doing down in the minor leagues, it wasn't worthy of being called up. They're just bodies. They're just bodies who can throw. These aren't guys that you're saying are your high leverage guys. These are guys that are back end bullpen guys down in the minors. These are guys that you're hoping can eat some innings because your starters who are getting paid the majority of the money, and the expectation is that they're going to be able to eat most of the innings. It's flipped upside down. You're playing upside down where you're having to worry about 12 outs from your relievers. That's not how baseball's supposed to be played. That's not, I don't know where that works and when it works. And for a team like Tampa Bay, it works for them because they were like interchangeable pieces, right? They kept bringing up, hey, we got a 6th inning guy. All these guys throw the same. We'll just keep rotating them every month. So they're fresh when they come back up because they worked their butts off for a month and they churn them out. You can't do that anymore because the second time that you send a guy down, he now has a chance to become a free agent. So they've changed that in the CBA to try and hurt Tampa Bay. Hasn't slowed them down a bit. The biggest thing is you need guys that are battle tested, because this is the equivalent of being able to long drive and not be able to putt, right? Doesn't matter how long you hit the ball. If you can't put the ball in the hole, and that's what a closer does, you got to finish it off. If you can't putt, doesn't matter. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of fanfare, a lot of big names, a lot of big money, and they're not able to finish off games because it's not a Diaz thing. It's not a Robertson thing. It's the rest of the bullpen thing that you just are not getting that value out of them. You're not getting that production out of them.
Luckily, I can putt. And Mets fans, it's going to be a lot of putt pass in the next couple of months. Snoop Dogg style.
Oh, good God.
The kush will be flowing in Mets land. All right. We will, I'm going to go to the bobbleheads. I'm going to go here and there, maybe, bring some different people to games. But I went to 67 games last year. I probably won't get to 45 this year. I don't know what I'm at now. But the way they're playing, there's no reason you should put money into this team and be going to these games. And, you get your $5 ticket. I'll go Monday, get my bobblehead, maybe Tuesday, depending on weather. But, staying for the whole game, watching this, paying for food. If you're paying for drinks, God bless you. We'll close this episode of Amazin But True next. All right, Figgy. Episode 157 is in the books of Amazin But True, our New York Mets podcast from the New York Post.
Thanks to Andrew Hartz. Welcome back, Hartz, and to the intern Nick Guzman for helping produce the show. Subscribe to Amazin But True on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to the New York Post Sports YouTube page and watch all the episodes. This is a doozy. You got to watch this one. Find that Amazin But True playlist. Give us a thumbs up below on YouTube and comment below how you're feeling right now about this team. How about the Mets? Follow us at Twitter at Amazin But True, at FiggyNY, and at Jake Brown Radio.
The Mets are so bad that it's almost like I should have been in that submarine. Should have just been in the submarine. Should have sent me in the submarine.
Bars and color screen.
I would have got my performance before I went down and said my heart will go on and sang it down in the submarine. The Mets are going down a yellow submarine this season, Figgy.
Not pretty.
Happy belated Father's Day to you. I think
Thank
that
you.
was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
I don't remember if I ever said it.
No, of course not.
There'll be a live episode in hell on August 27th.
Happy almost Father's Day to you, Jake, several times over.
Oh, God. The only father I'm making is chicken parm heroes. I haven't had chicken parm in a while, actually. It's been probably a few weeks. I think cheese has been bothering my stomach more, so I've been trying to stay away from cheese. All right, that's enough.
I'm so mad that Hartz's video isn't on, so I can see the eye roll right now.
He's probably just half a bottle deep into a Hennessy or something. He's got Jack Daniels by his side trying to get him through this absurd episode of Amazin But True. I'll be back Thursday or Friday. I don't know. I mean, they play Thursday night. We'll see. Maybe we'll just pre-record a guest and drop that on Thursday to avoid talking about the series. But hey, maybe they sweep, and maybe the tides turn. Shut up, Jake. Okay, that wraps up this episode of Amazin But True. Should we even close it like we always do, or should we say F the Mets instead? What do we do?
Hey, you gotta believe, kid.
You gotta believe. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go, Mets.
Suck it.